Alright. Hi, hey, what's going? It's your host, M.A. of Heat Blogspot. How you doing? Today is Tuesday, September 22nd. Special episode today, guys. Special episode because I have a special guest. My friend Daniel joined me on the podcast. Earlier today, we had a conversation talking about the Heat, talking about favorite players, talking about the Heat versus the Celtics. We're going to get into it. I'm sure you guys have been finally wanting to do this for a while. Now I learned a little bit. Here we go. Now, guys, before we get started, you might be hearing some dogs playing in the background. Don't mind that. They're just my two dogs going crazy. But before we get started, really, if you can, please hit that follow, hit that like, hit the subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Much appreciated. I'm joined by my dog, Lucy. So if you guys hear a little dog, not a little dog, she's a pit bull. If you hear pit bull going crazy, it's her. Anyways, again, I appreciate you guys. Whatever you listen to, whatever you're watching, please hit that follow, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Helps tremendously. I appreciate it. Comment anytime you want. Let's have a conversation. Hit me up on social, Twitter, and Facebook at Heat Blogspot, or email me, heatblogspot@gmail.com. Much appreciated, guys. Much appreciated. Now, like I said, special episode today, joined by my good friend Daniel. We had a Zoom meeting, so in a little bit, we'll go to that clip, let you guys hear that whole conversation. It's about almost 40 minutes long. Hope you guys enjoy it. You know, it's good to both go back and forth and talk a little bit about the Heat and not just me talking to myself the whole time. So it feels good. If you guys enjoy this, if you guys like it and you guys want more of it, please let me know. If you yourself want to join, if I know you personally, if I don't know you personally, and you would like to do this with me one day, hit me up. I said Gmail, heatblogspot@gmail.com, Twitter @heatblogspot, Facebook @heatblogspot. Hit me up, find me. Let's do this. Let's have a conversation. It's all good. I appreciate it. Now, guys, thank you again for watching. Going on to the next clip. Peace. All right, what's up, Heat fans? It's your host, M.A., and as I probably already said in the opening spiel of this video, I'm joined by my good friend, Daniel. We're going to talk a little bit about the Heat today. Say hi to the people, Daniel.
What's going on, people? What's going on, Heat fans? It's a good time to be a Heat fan, and I'm glad to join this podcast here with M.A. there. We talk hoops every day at the office, so now that I'm not at the office, we're still going to talk hoops, so it's good news.
Yep. So a little background about me and Daniel. We used to work together, and that's been fun as hell. Unfortunately, I had to move on due to other things, but look at us. We're back together again, so who cares? It all comes back full circle. If I didn't mention it in the intro, today is Tuesday, the 22nd, so we do play game 4, Heat versus Celtics, tomorrow on Wednesday, the 23rd, right? Yeah. Oh, shit. 8:30 on ESPN. All right. So, my friend, let me start with you with a little couple of generic questions here. Number one, how long have you been a Heat fan for?
I've been a Heat fan since, so it started when I was in fourth or fifth grade. It was 2006 when the Heat won the title with D.Wade. That's kind of when I started getting into basketball. Didn't really have a favorite team, and at the time there was obviously Heat games on. Being from Florida, so I kind of took to the Heat, more specifically D.Wade, and from that moment I was kind of hooked to D.Wade. D.Wade's been my favorite athlete, thus making the Heat my favorite team. I think that only escalated when we got LeBron James there, and so I've pretty much been a Heat fan my whole life.
Nice. What was your favorite D.Wade year? Because I got mine, but I'll share it after yours.
My favorite D.Wade year, that's tough. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's when I first started watching him when I was younger, and it was more specifically that playoff run that he had. And because to me, looking back, the numbers he put up, to me, I don't want to hear from anybody else. That's the greatest finals performance of all time. I don't want to hear what anybody else has to say. Or if you do want to talk about it, I'm ready for the debate. But I just really saw what he was bringing to the team, just the energy he brought. That's kind of what got me hooked, and that's kind of one of my biggest memories of D.Wade is watching him on that 2006 playoffs run. So I think I'm gonna have to go with that one. Albeit it was a while ago.
No, that's cool, man. Honestly, I was at those finals games. I was blessed enough to go to those games, and I would never take that away, dude. Like, that was amazing to watch.
Game 3 in the fourth quarter, we're 6 minutes left and we're down by like 13 or whatever it is, and he just takes over the game. Like, dude, that was amazing to watch up close, and for you to watch basketball right then and there and get hooked, that was the perfect moment for you. So that's fucking awesome, dude. uh, all right. So, and you already answered my question. My next question was going to be who's your favorite Heat player or past Heat player. So it's Dwayne Wade for sure. I
For
see.
sure, no doubt
Uh,
about that.
and then just before I don't forget, my favorite Heat Dwayne Wade season was 08-09 when he just went off and he was leading this league in scoring, and I mean he was on a tear. Like we didn't win a lot of games and anything like that. And our cast was like Jermaine O'Neal, Quentin Richardson, and Michael Beasley and Mario Chalmers and shit like that.
Yeah,
Uh, but I mean that guy was just trying to fuck everybody up. I felt like he was like, put some respect in my name. You guys don't remember I got a chip in the ring. Like I was like, damn, like this guy's going off right now. And I think that's a
well,
reason why LeBron came to Miami. Like one of the
yeah.
reasons he came.
Like I said, in '09, I think he won the scoring title that year.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did I think he led the league in
Yeah,
scoring.
he put up 30 a game that year in '09. So he was definitely a killer.
Oh man, he was it was the best offensive, like since the probably that finals run you were mentioning in '06.
Hmm.
That was probably his best offensive run. Like he was hitting mid ranges, taking it down the lane, dunking on people. That might have been the year he dunked on Anderson Varejao,
I think so.
and so fuck,
Yeah,
like he
he
was just
got
going off.
all NBA first team that year too. So it was definitely a crazy year for him. It's a good year.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll do this then. Um, who's your favorite non Dwayne Wade player on the
My
Heat?
favorite non-Dwayne on the Heat right now, or
It could be right now, or it could be
okay.
past.
It's a good question. I think right now, um, I like Tyler Herro.
Ooh.
And I know he hasn't done too much to solidify himself as a Heat great per se, but the energy he brings, the competitiveness he has, I think it's something that's kind of to be admired, especially from a rookie. Um, Granted, I think he's in a situation where he can afford to go out there and just be himself with the team around him. But right now, Tyler Hero is my favorite Miami Heat player.
Nice. Nah, I mean, dude, this kid to me, he's untouchable. Honestly, I mean, did you see that he broke the record with the Kobe? It was this
I
most
did see that.
like I forgot what it was. It was like under 20 years old or something, or under 22 to score
Hmm.
20 points or more in a half in a
Hmm.
play. I was like, holy crap! Like, and I didn't even notice that honestly while watching the game. I just knew he was helping us a lot in that first half because we were shitty as fuck.
Yeah,
uh, but I was his man. I mean, he does it in so many different ways, and that's the difference I think with this kid. He's not just a shooter. I mean, he's taking the ball, making plays, going up to the rack, doing anything
hmm,
he can, and I'm like, this kid's amazing. Like I don't
yeah,
know, Kentucky man, Kentucky boys know how to play. I guess.
yeah. It'll get you ready for them big games.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's just been amazing to watch him, honestly, and I don't know, like, would you trade him for anybody right now? Because there's a lot of talks.
No, right now, no. And the reason I say that is you look at what he's given you, and you look at what you're paying him. I mean, you got him for what 3 more years on a rookie deal. You can't beat that. What, especially given the minutes he's given you. I mean, he just played what 30 to 40 minutes in these playoff games, giving you great performances. I mean, you get him and let that chemistry build a little bit. We got him, Bam, and Butler for a few more years. So, and I don't know, man. I think I like what he brings to the table. And I think he brings some good chemistry. And I don't know. I think given the contract he's on and the length we can get him, we still have him for. I don't know if I want to trade him. I mean, obviously, if there's a good deal on the table, I'm all for it. But I think looking at a big picture, I kind of like what he brings.
No, for sure. Like this is a lot of talk. I'm on Bleacher Report like every day now. Just reading everything, and there's Bradley Beal talks. There's Drew Holiday talks. And I'm just like, would I trade Tyler Hero for any of these guys right now? I don't know. I find it hard for me to convince myself. Like I don't know.
Bradley Beal's a baller. I don't know. The thing with that is we're gonna have to trade Hero. We're gonna have to trade a lot of other people um, and picks to get somebody like that. I think I'd rather take our chances in free agency and sign somebody and keep everybody we have and still add somebody. But I don't know. I'm open for a Bradley Beal trade, but it depends on who we would have to give up, obviously.
Nice, nice. All right, I'm gonna do one more question about the past, and then we're gonna kick off and go straight into this season. All right. So, what is your favorite moment of the Heat, other than that '06 first chip?
I think my favorite Heat moment is that's a tough one. I think it's got to be the LeBron era. I
Okay.
think because at that point the Heat were villains, right? That was villain LeBron. That was villain. He might not be villain D.Wade, but nobody liked the Heat. I mean, everybody was hoping we would lose, and I think seeing obviously the first year we weren't able to figure things out, but those second and third seasons when we just went on a tear, um, just kind of against all, not against all odds, but against everybody else, and nobody really wanted to see us do well. Those are my favorite Heat memories. Just the way they played, the intensity they had, and obviously they were really good. So that's kind of what sticks out to me.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, to me, that's still the best LeBron version of LeBron James. Even though he had great runs with Cleveland and now with the Lakers after he left, but that was like LeBron was doing
No doubt,
everything. Like,
no
I mean,
doubt.
and
That
we
was
and we
peak
made him a
LeBron.
champion. Like, and I don't care what anyone says. Like, the only reason he won in Cleveland is because he came to Miami and learned how to win. You
Sure,
know?
absolutely. That's what everyone says about the organization. It brings something out of you. It forces you to be a better all around player, and I think that's why a lot of people like playing for Pat Riley in that system there.
I since you mentioned that the LeBron James years was that moment. Okay, where were you? What were you doing when LeBron made the announcement
I
on
was sit. I'll
ESPN?
never. I was sitting in my room. I'll never forget. I was sitting in my room on my bed watching the TV, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wait, what?"
Dude,
So I
it
would
was
literally won't forget. I
crazy.
was in the room on my bed watching, watching the announcement there. What about you?
Oh man, I was living in Gainesville at the moment, and I remember when Cleveland lost to Orlando in the second round that year, and I was like, he's leaving. Like I knew he was gonna leave. Like I was like, there's no way he's going back to Cleveland. Uh, and I was just like, let's see what happens. And when he just said like, I'm taking my talent to South Beach, I was like, what the like? I'm in my
Yeah,
living room running around like an idiot,
yeah.
like holy shit, here we go.
And
And
there
yeah,
there was a lot of options on the table that summer for a lot of players. So it
oh
wasn't
yeah,
like he's only got one or two spots to go. I mean, there were a ton of options. He could team up with multiple people. I think one of my favorite stories, I think it was Dwayne Wade. He took a couple meetings with the Bulls. I think it was because that Bulls team was good too at the time. And if LeBron went there, that would have been a really good team. They had D Rose, Noah, all them.
oh yeah.
I think the story was like Dwayne Wade took a couple meetings with the Bulls just to kind of waste their time, so that there was less time they had with LeBron. So a little gamesmanship there with the hometown team for D Wade, but yeah, that was a big decision. That was a big night for all Heat fans.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, and just imagine if that Bulls team would have gone them. Oh shit! but thank God they didn't. And the great Pat Riley does what he does and make sure we got three superstars and not just two. But that's dope, man. I mean, I definitely that was great day and great seasons that we had. And did all right. One more question on this because I got to ask: did you ever think that LeBron was going to end his career in Miami when he signed?
When, I think maybe in the beginning I could imagine or kind of picture it, but I think I think towards the end, I think it was looking to live hard because the contracts were coming up, and I think at that point, to our point before, at that point he was an all-around basketball player. He was a champion. He knew what it took, um, and obviously there was the thought he would go back. So I don't think I thought he was going to end his career there, especially as the years progressed. Um, so I think I was pretty satisfied with what he gave us, but I don't think I was expecting him to end it there. Were you?
No, honestly, I'll be on. Like, I never ever thought he was gonna stay too long. I always thought it was a means to an end, which it looked like that's what now that we know in the past. Like, yeah, that's what he did, and now I don't care. Like, honestly, to me, he was still never my favorite Heat player. It was still Dwayne Wade and Alonzo Mourning. So, to me, it was just like we're getting the best of both worlds. I still get to keep Dwayne Wade, and then I have LeBron James now just as his sidekick or whatever, vice versa. and they're just going to take this league by storm. So I was just enjoying the ride, honestly. And we got 2 rings out of it and 4 finals appearances. And who can complain? I'm not going to
Yeah, I'll
complain
take
about.
it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. Okay, see you later. Go to Cleveland and win one.
Yeah.
It's all good. And keep fighting a good fight, I guess. But all right, dude. Enough of the past. Fast forward to last summer, and you see the news of Jimmy Butler signing trade with the Heat. What were you thinking?
I I was a big fan of it right away because, for obvious reasons, as everybody sees now, is the what he brings, what he brings to the table. I was a little bit concerned, just the stories that came out about him in Philly and in Minnesota, where maybe ruffled some feathers, you know, rubbed some people the wrong way. And to be honest with you, I was a really big Josh Richardson fan. He was at the time he was one of my favorite players on the Heat. So I was a little sad to kind of see him go to Philly, but I was super excited. You can't not be excited when you get an All Star like Jimmy Butler, you know. So I was really interested to see how it would work, kind of how the team would fill in around him. Um, Obviously, he's somebody who plays both sides of the ball, so that's extremely important. And you knew that was going to be important in the playoffs. Should we get there at the time? But I was pretty excited. I was definitely interested to see kind of how it all played out. Like I said, especially with at the time, leaving Minnesota, wasn't too happy in Philadelphia for whatever reason. But I was interested and excited to see how it would all work out.
No, for sure. I got you. No, it was I agree with Josh Richardson that comment because I always now look back and wonder like, what if he would have traded Justice Winslow instead of Josh Richardson?
Yeah.
And then that also begs another question like, will we get Iggy and Crowder? Probably not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And to be fair, Winslow at towards the end of when he was in Miami, we started playing him at the 1, and he was playing some of the best basketball he had ever played with us. Kind of giving him some more ball handling opportunities and letting him guard the point guard. And um, I was in favor of trading Winslow for a little while, but once he started hooping like that, I think it was kind of tough to trade him. Um, but you kind of beggars can't be choosers right there, especially if you're getting Jimmy Butler.
No, definitely. I kind of wish we could have. And this is not hate on Kendrick Nunn because I feel like I've been giving him a lot of hate lately on the podcast. But
Yeah.
like Kendrick Nunn started at point guard pretty much the whole year, and like that should have been Justice Winslow probably. Imagine if Justice Winslow would have had those minutes, and right now in the playoffs, like we could
Mm-hmm.
still have Dragic coming off the bench right now, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
And
and
Winslow would
so
give you that defense too.
and that defense, yeah, exactly. The only thing is still like, do we get Iggy and do we get Crowder somehow? I don't think so, but
Good point.
I don't know. you know, I don't know. It's crazy. Like you never thought that getting Jimmy Butler was gonna fucking make us into this
Yeah.
crazy good ass team. Like I never saw that coming. I knew we were gonna be better, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think we were gonna be this good.
No, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Obviously, we would be a playoff team, but I don't think anybody saw the dominance that we're having now, or we've been having to this point.
Yeah, definitely, dude. All right, so uh, well, let's move to Kendrick Nunn. Like, I guess because I give him a lot of shit. So, what do you personally think of our rookie that got second place?
Look, he's a hooper, and I think he's proven he was a hooper. But it's different time, man. We're in the playoffs now. You to be honest with you, he looks a little nervous out there. He looks a little timid. And does that come from losing some minutes? Maybe he doesn't want to make some mistakes and kind of get taken out. But listen, man, if you want to hoop, you got to hoop when it matters too. You can't just hoop on that Tuesday night game against Atlanta when no one's really watching. You got to hoop when it matters, and he really, to be honest with you, like to your point, he hasn't really showed that yet. He's giving you some minutes, but he looks a little scared. He looks a little nervous. I would like to see some more aggression out of him. Get to the line. Get some open shots. Be a little bit more active. But listen, man, it's the playoffs. If you want to play, you got to play, and he hasn't really been doing that yet. To your point.
No, I agree. Honestly, if he can do that, get to the line, not even make shots, like he doesn't even need to make threes or shots, but if he can play make and get to the foul line and hit free throws, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something we've been missing this whole playoffs, not just the
Yeah.
series, this whole
Yeah.
playoffs. And I've been waiting for Jimmy to consistently do that, but he doesn't like, and he has the body and the strength and the game to do that. But I don't know why Jimmy doesn't consistently try to go to the line. You know, I
Yeah.
thought though in Indiana, he was the Indiana Pacers series. He was doing a great job with that, but somehow he just like fell off of that.
Yeah, he's especially this series so far against the Celtics, he's kind of I think he's kind of trying to pick and choose his spots, but I mean he's got to get that's what he brings. That's his MO is getting physical, getting to the line. And the last games 1, 2, and 3 against the Celtics, he's only been to the line 6 times in each game, and all games from rounds 1 and 2 against the Pacers and the Bucks, he's averaged about 11 or 12 times to the line per game. So, going from 11 or 12 per game to 6, you're cutting your points in half. Obviously, that's what was making him successful, getting the other team in foul trouble, getting some easy points on the board. So cutting your times to the line in half is definitely not gonna help the team out there, especially if we were being successful when he was getting to the line like that.
I agree. Honestly, I haven't been looking at that, so that's a great point you made. I didn't notice that he hasn't been going to the line as consistently as he had before, and that's huge. Honestly, that's huge points for us, and that's huge pacing problems for us because now we're not stopping the clock, and they're just running over us over and over again, which I felt like Game 3 was. It's just they were just constantly hitting us, and just taking, especially Jaylen Brown. Like Jaylen Brown showed
Yeah,
no fear.
yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
And that's something I'm thinking. I'm you're not a fan of Kendrick Nunn. I'm gonna put it out there that I'm not a fan of Kelly Olynyk. I think Kelly Olynyk looks more nervous than I would be if I was in his shoes out there in the playoffs. Um, I don't think he gives you the aggression that you need. I don't think he gives you the big body. I think what we need to do, especially since the Celtics came out and just attacked us at the rim, I'm interested to see if Myers Leonard gets any playing time here. Off the bench, even just a few minutes to get a couple rebounds, get some paint presence in there. Because I mean, if you're just going to attack the rim and get Bam in foul trouble, get Duncan Robinson in some foul trouble, it doesn't bode well for the long term vision of the game. I'm interested to see if we can throw. I know his minutes have gone down. I know he hasn't really proven anything, in the bubble. But I'm interested to see if we give him some minutes. I think I'll be for that, just off the bench to get us a couple rebounds, some offensive boards, maybe some putbacks, kick it out to a 3-point, a 3-point shooter. But I do not like Kelly Olynyk out there. I think he's a liability. You look at game 1, 10 minutes, he had 4 points. He was -9, plus minus. Game 2, 13 minutes, 5 points, -3, plus minus. And then you look at game 3, 13 minutes, 3 points, 0 for 6 from the field, 2 rebounds. I mean, I don't know. I know he's there for shooting, and I don't think he's really given us that yet. And if you're not shooting, you got to be impacting the game some other way, and I don't think he's been doing that.
No, that's fair. Honestly, 100% fair, and I see it now. Now that you're saying it to me, I'm like, damn, he's right. Like he hasn't really been bringing the game, and I don't know if it's Myers Leonard. You know who I wish we had right now, but he's hurt. Is Chris Silva, because that guy just runs back and forth and jumps.
Yeah.
He knows his role. He's not going to do more or less. He's just going to do what he does. So that's someone I wish we can play right now. And I think Spo would play him if he had, or if DJ had more meat on his bones, because DJ's so skinny.
Yeah.
But if DJ had more meat on his bones, I will play him in center all day. I'll be like, yo, dude, just fucking out jump these guys.
DJ's been taking some bad fouls, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think he's putting him. I think he's trying to do a little bit too much. But I like Joe. I think he gives you the athleticism and the speed to run up and down and to go get you some boards. So I like DJ as a player. I haven't liked he's been taking some fouls last couple of games that haven't been the smartest, but he'll learn from it. And, hopefully he'll get some minutes, to your point there, and, give us some good minutes here moving forward.
Yeah, I think honestly though, I think it might be time for Spo to shorten the rotation and just play your best defenders and just your best players. Like whoever the top 6, 7 players are, just start playing them and tell them to go for 100, because we're only 2 wins away, and I think we got to do this early, because the Lakers are going to get finished done early. I think the Lakers look like they might get done early, and if they get more rest than us, that might hurt us.
I agree. And to your point, though, I don't know who, we got 5 and we got 6 with Tyler Herro, but we need that 7th, maybe 8th guy to come up and give you consistent minutes. And right now it's between Olynyk, um, Jones, maybe Iguodala and Kendrick Nunn. One of those guys needs to step up and give you some solid playing time and give you some the opportunity to put some of those guys on the bench and give them some rest, especially at the end of quarters or something. So, like I said, I need to see something else from Olynyk because it ain't cutting it right now for me.
Oh, definitely. You know, another thing I think that's been hurting us in the series is Duncan not getting off. Because if Duncan doesn't go off,
Yep.
everybody has less space to move around. Because now
Yeah,
everyone's not, you know.
that's one thing I was gonna we can talk about too is Duncan Robinson. Like you said, spaces to flow out, man. And I think one thing with Duncan Robinson is he's not the greatest defender. So I
No.
think what they've been doing is they just take him to the hoop and get him in foul trouble, get him off the floor. But I'll tell you one thing: if Duncan Robinson can stay out of foul trouble, the world's gonna know who he is because he's a straight shooter, man.
No, definitely. I mean, he's dirty, nasty, whatever you want, whatever pun you want to put in there. He's one of the greatest shooters I've seen, and he's just natural. Like he knows he's not really trying. He's just like a natural form he has.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think I tell me if I'm crazy. Would you start Tyler Herro right now over Duncan, and then you allow Duncan
Um,
to play against the second unit more often, the second unit of the Celtics?
I don't think I would have a problem with either one because I think they both give you something off. They're both going to give you something off the bench, right? No matter what it is. But I could see Duncan coming off the bench against the second team or some of the second team, and maybe gives him some more open looks or gives him the ability to move around a little bit more. Um, I don't know if I have a preference to be honest with you because I kind of like what each one does, and I'm confident they're going to bring it, no matter if they're starting or not. Are you in favor of him coming off the bench, Duncan?
Honestly, I am. It's because of the Celtics. The Celtics are scared of me this whole time. Like I did not want to play the Celtics. I wanted to play the Raptors, and clearly because they only have a couple of ball handlers, which is like Kyle Lowry and I don't know who else, like Fred VanVleet, and then after that, it just kind of falls off. Like the ball
Yeah.
goes by those two guys. But with the Celtics, they have four guys usually in the starting lineup, and now they could put five if they ended up starting Gordon Hayward over somebody, whoever,
Yeah.
turn it over Tice. That's five pretty good ball handlers on the court that can
Yeah.
all make a play for you. And we at most times we only have like three, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what kills us on defense. Like we're switching on everything, but they have four guys that can still out dribble you and make a play. So like we're just getting tired at that
Mm-hmm.
point. And then and at the other end, they already know that Crowder and Duncan are our shooters, so all they got to do is stick to the hip of those guys, and then
Mm-hmm.
block the lanes for the other two like Bam, Dragic, and Jimmy. And I think that's what's making it easier. So if we add Tyler to the starting lineup, I think that matches what they were bringing up to us, and then we could hopefully create more offense for ourselves with that. That's kind of my thought process
Yeah.
with that whole thing.
Yeah, I actually saw a pretty cool stat about Duncan Robinson today. For this 2019-2020 season, they came up with a stat. It's win probability added, it's called. And it basically combines field goals, free throws, and turnovers. And out of everybody in the league, Duncan Robinson was fourth with about 6.5 win probability, 6.5 games, he's won for us. Um, Ahead of names like Giannis, DeRozan, Mitchell, Tatum, Devin Booker. Only three guys ahead of him was Lillard, Harden, and AD. So that just goes to
Oh
prove
shit.
when he's on the floor, he's big time, and he just needs to stay out of foul trouble. And I think he'll give us what we need.
Yeah, definitely. I think he just needs to let it fly. At this point, he can't really, get really good in handles when we need him to do. But at this point, I think he needs to let it fly, stop double thinking. So a lot of times he jumps and then he passes off the jump, and which is a dangerous pass because now you
Yeah,
have to pass.
yeah,
But definitely, I just keep saying to that guy, like, just let it fly, man. Like, stop
yeah.
thinking
Why
about it.
not?
And that game too, he was letting it fly. Like he was like, fuck it, this thing's going up.
And
And
that's what they told him. They said when you get the ball, you shoot it. That's what he said. That's the advice that his teammates give him, and Spo has given him. Just shoot it. Just
yeah,
shoot the ball because we
I
like
think
our
he
chances
should.
when you shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if he misses, like usually long balls are like long rebounds. So just fucking chuck it up
true.
there, dude, and stop and stop fucking messing around with the ball clock. And that's another thing with the Celtics. They've been making us shoot really close in the single digits of the shot clock. So they're forcing us to take bad shots a lot of the times. And I've been hating it, honestly. I hate when they fucking do that.
Yeah, that's not good offense. That's at that point when you're forcing the ball up because you have to. It's probably not a high percentage shot there.
Yeah, I attribute that also to the Celtics, but also to I feel like a lot of times, especially in the beginning of the games, each of these last three games at least, we've just been really chill mode, like going through the motions on offense, and because everyone, we have a set play, like we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do these screens, and then Duncan's gonna come around, and Dragic will do this and whatever. But I feel like everyone's just like, half speed, like in practice mode, like okay, let's see what opens up for us first. Let's see what the Celtics are gonna give us. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, let's stop doing that, guys. Like, let's pick up the pace and make our own offense. Stop letting the defense dictate the offense for us.
Yeah, and if you
That's
think back to game one, I think Dragic had a fast break where he just took it right to the hoop, got a nice layup, and I think that set the tone. And for that, for I don't know, for the first or second quarter, right after he did that, we went on a run where we just dominated on offense, and it was because of that. We were running the floor, we were being aggressive, we weren't playing, slow half court type ball.
yeah.
And that's a tricky game though with the Celtics because I don't know if I'm comfortable um, man be man versus them running the floor and playing that kind of game just because they have so many hoopers. Um, so I think kind of shortening up the playing half court might play to our advantage on defense, being able to set up our defense against them. But to your point, yeah, we need to be aggressive at some points, and we need to just make something happen instead of waiting for it to happen.
No, definitely. Yeah, like I agree with you. Like half court, we're the best, and we have great half court sets. But like once we get there, like kick it up a notch. Like I again, we cruise down the up the court, but then once everyone's set, like stop this. I just feel like they were just half-assing it a lot of times. Like okay, let's through the motions. Okay, there goes Duncan around 2 picks. Oh, did he get it?
Yeah.
Nope. Now he's gonna pass it to Bam. Now Bam's gonna look around, waiting for that handoff. Oh, doesn't got it. Okay, here we go, and he's gonna
And now
dribble.
we got 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, and
We got
it's
to do
like,
something.
fuck, man, like, like, what are you guys doing? Like, you already know what they're gonna do. You already know what you're gonna do. Just play off each other. Like, who
Yeah.
get, just go. And I'm sure that's what Spo wants. Like, I think that was the whole reason for the offense we created. That when we get to this point, it was just gonna be instinct. So like, we'll have so many options, but whatever happens happens. Like, who cares who takes the most shots? Who cares who gets the most points? Just just go and play and use that and use the system to get you guys with the shots. That's it. I think that's one thing that Jimmy needs to do, though. I think Jimmy needs to lead us there. If Jimmy starts doing that, I think everybody follows.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one thing Jimmy's kind of pick and chose his spots, and I think he likes to wait towards the end of the game to try and make something happen. But to your point, he needs to be like that from the jump and let everybody follow his path there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So what do you think about the Celtics team though? Like, do you think they can beat us? Because they got to win 4 out of not 3 out of 4,
I
right?
think it's going to be hard, but listen, I always say in every sport, game four is the most important one, right? Because you're either going to get swept or it's 2-1 and you're going up 3-1 or it's tied 2-2, right? So that's a huge difference. 3-1, 2-2 is an incredible difference. I think if they get it to 2-2, at that point, it's fair game. I think they have the talent to take it to us, but I think if we play our game and we go up 3-1, I don't think there's a shot they come back.
Okay. No, I agree. I think game 4 and game 2 are like the two big games of the series.
Okay.
Game 4 is probably bigger, honestly, because you're right. You're either gonna go sweep 3-1 or 2-2. So pick your poison. Um, but definitely, we're not the Nuggets. You're not gonna. I don't. We're just not the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But luckily, we don't have to face that deficit this series. Um, but it's been interesting. Like this whole playoff run, and each team we played has been different. Honestly, like this is the first team where like they have legitimate ball handlers and stars and hoopers, and pretty much in almost every position. And we got to focus. And I think that's all it is. Like the Heat just needs to like lock down and be realized like, okay, like we got to stop taking breaks in middle of games and just play a full 48 minutes. And it's as simple as that, really, I think.
Yeah.
But I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
No, it's easier said than done, but that's what needs to happen for sure. Kind of before we get going, who's kind of your X factor? Moving forward, rest of the series to get it done.
I think Bam has to be the best player of the whole series for us to win the next 2 games.
Okay.
And it's just clear because Daniel Tice cannot guard him. Like he is bullying
Yeah.
Daniel Tice when he wants to, but he hasn't
Sure.
been doing it. The last two games, the second half is what I feel like he should be doing in the first half. Because let's flip it. Let's say he does that in the first half instead. Like, dude, then that opens up shooting in the second half because now everyone's gonna be so attracted to Bam and not and Brad Stevens is gonna be on them like, what the fuck are you letting this guy just dunk all over you guys? So they're gonna they're gonna be thinking twice, and I think that opens up lanes. It opens up shots for Duncan and Tyler and all our shooters to go off. And same with Jimmy though, like Jimmy and Bam, but I'm putting it on Bam because he has Daniel Tice in front of him most of the
And
time.
to be fair, game one, which I thought was an interesting adjustment from Brad Stevens, game one, Ennis Cantor didn't play at all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Game two and three, they threw him in there. Game two, he played 11 minutes, which is a lot of minutes for somebody off the bench, somebody who just didn't play 0 minutes. Game two, he played 11 minutes, gave him 9 points, 9.6 rebounds in 11 minutes. That's solid. So I think that's making it a little bit tougher for him as well. But I agree, you got to take advantage when you can take advantage, and you can certainly take advantage of Tice. For me, it's gonna. I think it's Duncan, and it's got to be Duncan, and it's got to be because if he can get the three ball going, it's going to open it up so much more for Jimmy and Goran and Tyler Herro them to take it to the paint, maybe get to the line a little bit. It's going to instill the fear of the kick out three. So I think it's Duncan. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, and I think he'll be okay.
No, yeah, for sure. I don't think we can go wrong. I think we could pick anybody, honestly, because I think
Sure.
that's how we got to this place. We didn't come here because of Jimmy. We didn't come here because of Bam or Dragic. We came here as a team, and the true word as a team. So, I mean, I think that's what it is. Is like just everyone has to pick up their play. Everyone has to, there's no more. You can be there like you're right. KO hasn't been the best, and same with Kendrick. Same with a lot of our bench. And then sometimes
Yeah.
with Duncan and sometimes with Crowder, and and I think Jimmy does so much, but I think I think it is too. He's coming from the Bulls where he had Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Joe Quinoa, Boozer,
Mm-hmm.
all these guys to defer to, and then he came
Mm-hmm.
from many had Wiggins and
Yeah.
Towns, and then he went to Philly, Embiid, Simmons, Redick, and now he comes here and he's like, oh, it's you now, dude. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
now he has to like figure that part out. How do I take over the game? And hopefully Dwayne Wade's in his ear, like, texting this guy all day, like, okay, this is what we're going to do now. And this is what we're going to do next. Because that's really
Yeah.
what we need. We need Dwayne Wade to show up.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he'll do it. I think the competitor in him is going to come out game four, and I think he's gonna will us to the win if he has to. I don't think he wants to tie it up 2-2. I don't think he wants to put us in a tough spot. So I think he's gonna come out strong.
Yeah. I think we might see the best Heat game of this playoff so far on tomorrow. Tomorrow. Damn, this game came out quick. Been 4 days, but it came quick. All right. Last question, because I think this guy makes a huge difference for the Celtics. How worried are you about Gordon Hayward?
Um, I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. I think what he gives them is the IQ, the intangibles that you aren't getting with anyone else. And I think what makes me even more worried is he played 30 minutes in the last game. That was his first game back from from his ankle injury. That's a lot of minutes to play somebody, and you wouldn't play them that long if you weren't comfortable with you weren't completely sure that they were okay to do it. So it's clear that he's healthy. He's going to play 30 minutes in his first game back, and I think we all know what he brings. Um, I think one thing that might minimize that worry is the zone. I think the zone kind of takes away from the one-on-one ball that we would have to play against all those guys on the Celtics. And let's say we play man-to-man and you throw Gordon Hayward in there, it's going to make it nearly impossible to do that. So I think the zone will limit what you can do offensively, but at the same time, it's definitely an added player that's been there before and knows what he's doing. But we'll see. I think we can get it done. I think we got to get to the line, get some guys in foul trouble. Him being one of them, if he's going to be matched up with with a Crowder or Butler or somebody like that. We'll get him in foul trouble, and we don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Nah, that's good points. Good points. I was hoping this guy would not come back because I knew he does all the little fucking little things. Like he
I
knows he
agree.
makes 30 mil. You know, he's like, I'm getting paid. I don't need it. And he has two young scorers, three now with Kemba. Who he's not young, but he's a scorer. And he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I just chill back now, and I just do the rebounding. I'll do the passing. I'll hit a couple of shots here and there, and I'm still gonna do and still get my 30 mil. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
He brings
that's
the
scary.
intangibles for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thing, because if you hear about the Clippers, Paul George getting paid that much, and he's trying to tell his team like come back next year, and all they're like, "Fuck you, dude! You only scored 10 points for like pretty much the whole thing," and then none of them want to hear it. So, it's important. Like, that's like, and this is what I like about the series is like it's really just two really good teams, and anyone can win. Though the Heat are still gonna win. Fuck everybody else. The Heat are gonna win. There's two really good fucking teams just going at it, and it comes down to the little things, the effort, the coaching decisions, the intangibles, the little plays, the hustle plays. Like this, all it is that's going to come down to the games to win, and we'll see.
And to be honest with you, I think we have the guys that are going to want to do it more. So, like you said, we'll win. I'm confident we'll win. To that point, we got the Butlers, the Crowders, the Dragic's, the Iguodala's. The guys who have been there before and know what it takes and who are willing to do the dirty work there. So I think we'll be okay.
100. No, I agree, brother. I agree. But all right, dude. I think we'll end it there because I think my Zoom meeting is telling me that I'm coming close to the max amount of minutes I could record. I didn't know that. So we're learning something new again.
There you go.
But brother, I appreciate you joining me today. Whenever you ever want to do this again, just let me know. It could be after a game. It could be about anything. I don't care. It's all good. More than welcome to join me, dude.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Thank you again for, listening to my interview, my meeting, my whatever with my friend Daniel, talking about the Heat, talking about the Heat versus Celtics, talking about Tyler Herro, talking about everybody. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Thank you for listening. Please share, please follow, please like, please subscribe, please comment, do all that good stuff. It really helps me out. I appreciate it. Now, again, if you guys want to do this with me, if you like to join me, let me know. I apologize for no video or anything like that. We both use pictures because I was having a hard time with my, my stuff, my equipment, technical difficulties. Still getting to learn all this stuff. It is what it is. I will get better. It will work. It's all good. But going back to my original point, if you would like to join me, if you like to have a conversation with me and you don't want mine to be on here, it doesn't have to be on here, but looking for guests at all times, please hit me up, heatblogspot@gmail.com. Or you can always hit me up on Twitter at HeatVlogspot or on Facebook at HeatVlogspot. Anything is cool. Come find me. It's all good. I appreciate it, guys. Again, guys, thank you all for listening. Tomorrow's Wednesday. The Heat play the Celtics game 4 at 8:30. We're going to bring it. We're going to take it to them. We got the tools. I don't care what anybody says because we're going to the finals. All right, guys. Ladies, everybody, have a great day. Have a great night. Thank you for listening.